Scientists once strapped trackers onto 33 people and watched every one of them sleep, not for one night, for 20 nights in a row. And when they added it all up, the number genuinely unsettled them. 18 minutes. Out of hundreds of hours of darkness. Only 18. 18 lonely minutes when every person was asleep at exactly the same time. The rest of the night, all of it, somebody was awake. Nobody on guard duty, nobody assigned, nobody volunteered. It just happened. Every night, as if an invisible hand kept the group from going fully under. And here's the part that puts a cold finger on the back of your neck. The exact same thing is happening in your home tonight, in your family, almost certainly in your own body, and nobody told you. A hidden rotor runs in the dark, older than farming, older than writing, maybe older than our species, and you've clocked in your whole life. So tonight, when you snap awake at 3 a.m. and lie there furious, certain your sleep is broken. What if nothing is broken at all? What if you're not failing? What if you're simply on shift? Here's the story we tell ourselves about sleep. 8 unbroken hours. One long, silent, motionless block. Down at 11, up at 7, and nothing daring to interrupt. And if something does, if you wake at 3 a.m., something's wrong. You're stressed. Aging badly. You have a disorder. You need a pill. That's wrong. Almost backwards, actually, because the silent, synchronized sleepers who slept soundly through it all, the ones who went down together at exactly the same time, had a name. Breakfast. They were called breakfast. Think about what sleep really is, stripped of the duvet and the machine. It's the one stretch of your day when you are completely helpless, blind, deaf to the world, unable to run, unable to fight, unable to even know something's wrong until it already is. For a soft, slow primate sleeping out in the open, in a world full of things with night vision and claws, 8 hours of deep, synchronized unconsciousness wasn't restful. It was suicidal, plain and simple. So evolution didn't solve this by making us sleep less. It solved it with something far more elegant. It made sure we never, ever all went down at once. And that trick is so simple, so sneaky. It's still running in your house tonight, and you've never noticed. To see it, let's walk through one night in an ancient camp. Picture it. 30 people on hides over the bare ground. A low fire burning down to coals. The dark pressing in. This is roughly how the hadza of Tanzania still sleep today. One of the last hunter-gatherer peoples left on Earth. The closest living window we have onto our ancestors' nights. And here's the first thing that will surprise you. Nobody appoints a guard. No rota on a tree, no debate. The watch assembles itself automatically from one free ingredient. The simple fact that the sleepers are not all the same age. Because age, it turns out, quietly controls when you sleep. It's late now, the fire's low. The little kids went down hours ago, and a cluster of people are still wide awake by the embers, talking, poking the coals, completely failing to feel tired. The teenagers, the young adults, the natural night owls. If you've ever wanted to throttle a 16-year-old, useless till noon, then alive at midnight, here's the truth. That is not laziness, and it is not a phone problem. The adolescent body clock genuinely runs late. It's built in. In those years, the brain's sleep signal shifts hours backward. So teenagers crash late and wake late in every culture, even ones with no screens at all. Everyone ever studied. In a modern house, this gets a teenager grounded. In an ancient camp, it got the group through the dangerous hours. While the elders and children sleep, the young and strong stay up. The ones with the fastest reflexes, simply, accidentally, awake. They are the first watch. Their own biology signed them up. The teenager scrolling at 1 a.m. isn't broken. He's running ancient firmware. Now it gets deeper. The dead middle of the night. 2, 3 in the morning, the hour you know personally. This is where you wake up. Eyes open, brain weirdly clear. No reason, no dream, just suddenly online at 3 a.m. Modern you assumes that's a flaw, a glitch. It might be the most natural thing your body does all night. Part of it is temperature. One of sleep science's strangest facts. When researchers tracked those hunter-gatherers, they found something unexpected. Their sleep wasn't controlled by darkness at all. The sun went down, and they stayed up, talking, for hours. What actually pulled them under was the cold creeping in. Sleep began as the night air started to fall, and the coldest point, just before dawn, was when they woke. Light barely mattered. It was the temperature curve, the whole time. Now look at where you sleep tonight. A box held at a flat 72 degrees, all night, forever. You've deleted the single most important signal your body uses, the 3 a.m. wake, that little surfacing into clarity, and sits right where your ancestors were tuned to read the night. You're not malfunctioning. You're reading a memo the thermostat already shredded. And here's the bigger thing happening at 3 a.m. You waking, glancing at the dark, drifting back down. That is the watch quietly changing hands. Remember that study? 33 people, 20 nights. At any moment in the dark, a median of 8 were awake. Around 40% of the camp, up or lightly dozing, all night. The night was never one solid block of defenseless silence. It was a slow, rolling shimmer of people surfacing and sinking. So the camp, as one organism, never once closed its eyes. Across 20 entire nights, the whole group was under together, for a grand total of just 18 minutes. For 99.8% of the dark, somebody had your back. And then comes the last watch, the hardest one of all, the hours before dawn, when the cold bites the deepest. And not coincidentally, when predators make their final hungry push, right before daylight. Who covers the camp's deadliest hour? The people we, today, drag to the doctor and diagnose, the old, the elders, the grandparents. As you age, your body clock slides the other way. Older adults go down early, wake early, and sleep light, surfacing before dawn, unable to drop back off, lying in the gray. We call it a problem. We call it insomnia. We prescribe. But the researchers gave it a far more beautiful name. They called it the poorly sleeping grandparent hypothesis. The elder waking at 5 a.m., one ear open, isn't failing. They're standing the dawn watch, the final, most dangerous shift, a post their ancestors held in an unbroken line, for longer than our species has even had language. And sit with what that means, because this part gets me. The watch isn't a chore anyone resents. It's love, written in biology. The young take the late shift. The old take the dawn. Not because anyone organized it. Not because anyone was asked. Across a lifetime, your strongest years guard the night for others, and your last years guard it again before the light, so that in between, the parents and the children they raise can sleep deep, defenseless, and completely safe. Somebody is always awake so somebody else doesn't have to be. That's the oldest form of looking after each other we have. Now I'll be honest. A story this neat deserves some suspicion. Most of the hard data comes from one group, watched a few weeks. The watch rota idea is a hypothesis. Elegant, but not closed. And please don't wave away real sleep problems. Real insomnia is miserable. Screens, caffeine, alcohol, chaos. They genuinely wreck your sleep. Things the hadza simply never had to deal with. The irony? Those hunter-gatherers sleep just 6.5 hours. No more than a stressed office worker. Yet they rarely lie awake. Two of their languages have no word for insomnia at all. It was never the hours. Their nights matched their bodies, ours fight them. And the trade we made was a good one. We got locks, walls, roofs. We got a world with the lions removed. Your 3 a.m. wake feels broken because we won. It's a fire alarm still sounding in a building that hasn't burned in 10,000 years. Your sleep was never a solid solo block. It was a shared, staggered, half-awake vigil. The night owl teen, the parent who wakes at every creak, the grandparent up before the birds. That's not three broken sleepers. It's a watch, still covering each other. Tonight you've been handed the watch, the same one, passed down a line of people who stayed awake in the cold so the ones they loved could see the morning. You're not broken, you're on duty. So tell me, what's your shift? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.